All right, let's talk about something we've all been through. It's that moment you finally lie down to sleep, but your brain decides, hey, you know what? Now is the perfect time to open every single mental tab from the last week. Well, tonight, we're going to break down why that happens and, more importantly, how to give your brain the one signal it desperately needs to finally shut down.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? The day is done, you are physically exhausted, but your mind, it's just off to the races. It feels like this motor that you just can't find the off switch for.
And the very first thing you need to hear, maybe the most important thing, is that this is not some kind of personal failure. It's not a sign that you're weak, and you are absolutely not broken because you experienced this. Honestly, it's just a frustratingly common part of being human.
So here's the real issue. The problem isn't you, it's a missing signal. Your brain, for some very specific reasons that we're about to get into, just never got the memo that it's okay to power down. It never got that all-clear message to end the day. And that's the part we're going to fix.
This brings us to what we can call the nightly loop. A lot of people chalk it up to overthinking, but that's not quite the right word for it. See, it's not really about the amount of thinking you're doing. It's about the pattern. It's kind of like a record that's stuck on a scratch, playing the same tiny bit over and over.
So let's redefine this, shall we? Overthinking at night isn't you having brilliant, creative ideas at 2 in the morning. No. It's a repetitive loop. It's replaying that one awkward thing you said, or stewing over that work problem, or just cycling through the same exact to-do list again and again and again.
And here's where it gets so maddening. There's this total disconnect, right? Your muscles are begging for rest. Your eyelids feel like they weigh a ton, but your nervous system, it's still on high alert. It's still in go mode, which keeps that mental engine spinning long after your body has parked for the night.
So why does it always feel 1,000 times worse at night? Well, think about your day. It's full of distractions, right? Emails, tasks, other people, just noise. All that stuff keeps us busy. But at night, all of that just fades away. And that silence creates this vacuum. And everything you manage to push aside all day long comes rushing right in to fill it. And this leads us right to the heart of the problem. Your brain's missing signal. If we want to stop this loop, we have to understand why it's even happening. What is our brain actually trying to do with this nightly marathon of worry?
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Why would our brain, which needs rest just as much as our body does, seem to sabotage our sleep night after night? It feels so counterproductive, but there's a really fascinating, ancient reason for it.
Now here's the wild part. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's actually doing its job perfectly. Its number one priority, above all else, is to keep you safe. So at the end of the day, it scans for any unresolved issues, any open loops, any potential threats. Now, these threats might just be an unpaid bill or a big presentation next week, but to your brain's ancient operating system, they're problems that need attention. Now, and this is exactly why all the usual strategies just completely backfire. Scrolling on your phone, that just feeds your brain more information and light, keeping it awake. Trying to force yourself to sleep, that just creates anxiety, which your brain flags as, you guessed it, another threat. And arguing with your thoughts, that's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. All these things just keep your system on high alert. So the big takeaway here is actually pretty simple. The answer to a racing mind isn't more distraction. It's not about finding a better way to ignore your thoughts. The answer is closure. You have to find a way to signal to your brain that the day's business has been noted and it is now safe to stand down. Okay, enough theory, let's get practical. Here is a super simple 2-step shutdown ritual that you can literally use tonight. This isn't some magic pill that's going to solve everything forever. It's about breaking the loop, just for tonight. And honestly, sometimes that's all you need. So this whole ritual just has 2 parts. It's so simple. First, we're going to regulate the body using some really basic, controlled breathing. And second, we're going to clear the mind by getting our thoughts out of our head and on some paper. Regulate, then clear. Let's break down exactly how each one works. So let's start with step 1. The key word here is not relaxation. That word can feel like a lot of pressure, right? Like another thing you can fail at. The word we want to use is regulation. We are actively regulating our nervous system. We're sending it a very direct biological signal that says, hey, we're safe. And the method for this could not be easier. It's all built around the number 4. You're just going to breathe in slowly for a count of 4, and then breathe out just as slowly for a count of 4. That's it. Don't force it, just a nice, steady rhythm. And you only have to do this for 1 minute to start. Just 1 minute. So why does something so simple work so well? Well, that slow, rhythmic breathing is like a direct message to the most primal part of your brain. It communicates, on a purely physiological level, that you're safe. There's no lion chasing you, no immediate danger to deal with. And when your body gets that signal and starts to calm down, your mind can finally follow its lead. All right, on to step 2, clear. Grab a pen and any old piece of paper. Now, the purpose here is absolutely critical. You are not writing to solve your problems. You're not trying to analyze your feelings. You are writing for one reason only: to get the thoughts out of your head and onto the page. You're just removing them.
And this perfectly explains why it is so effective. See, your brain keeps looping on these thoughts because it doesn't trust you to remember them. It's scared you'll drop the ball on something important. By writing it down, you're basically telling your brain, hey, don't worry, I've created a backup. The information is stored safely over here. You can let go now. You're literally outsourcing the job of remembering.
So let's just zoom out for a second. This simple little ritual, it's more than just a sleep hack. It's actually a fundamental practice in regaining a sense of control and building up your mental resilience. It's about learning how to deliberately and consciously downshift your own system.
So, to sum it all up, it's this powerful 1-2 punch. The breathing calms down your physical alert system, the writing clears out the mental buffer, all those open tabs, and when you put them together, you effectively interrupt that vicious feedback loop that was keeping you awake.
And let's be totally realistic about what we're trying to achieve here. This process is not going to magically delete your worries forever. It's not supposed to. The goal is much simpler: to create just enough mental space, just enough quiet to allow sleep to show up. And that rest is what will actually give you the strength to solve those problems tomorrow. You know, this brings us to a really powerful new way of thinking about mental strength. It's not about having some perfectly silent, empty mind. I mean, that's impossible. Real strength is knowing how and when to perform a proper shutdown sequence. It's an active skill you can learn, not just some passive state of being. So tonight, don't try to fight your mind. Instead, just give it the signals it's asking for. Signal safety with your breath. Store your worries on paper. Let your system power down. And remember, doing that's not weakness, that's control.